we are starting the next chapter, that is chapter number 20, accounts from incomplete records or single entry system. The term is familiar to you because in the first chapter, that is theory chapter, we have discussed double entry system and single entry system. I hope you all remember the meaning of single entry system, or it is also known as incomplete double entry system, or we can refer it as accounts from incomplete records. So what is basically single entry system? System in which for certain transactions both the aspects will be recorded, both the debit and credit aspects. For some other transactions only one aspect will be recorded, either debit or a credit aspect. Then for some other transactions nothing will be recorded, entire transaction will be ignored. So single entry doesn't mean that you have to record only one aspect always. Sometimes it can be both aspects, sometimes it can be only one aspect, sometimes nothing will be recorded. So that meaning we have learned already. So it is not reliable, or it is suitable only for small business organizations where the transaction will be less. So only for such organizations, small organizations, this single entry system is suitable. So most of the firms will be depending on the double entry system, and that is more reliable and accurate also. Then there are difficulties in preparation of final accounts if we are following this particular system, that is single entry system. The problem is, under single entry system, the firm will be maintaining only cash book and personal accounts of debtors and creditors. That you have to remember. All these you have to note down, you have to write in your notebook the points you have to note down. Under the single entry system, the firm will be recording or preparing only cash book and personal accounts of debtors and creditors. So what they are excluding? They are completely ignoring the real accounts and the nominal accounts. We have real accounts which include tangible and intangible assets. Then we have nominal accounts, that is expense, losses, incomes and gains. All these, the real accounts and nominal accounts, single entry system will be ignoring. It will include only cash book and the personal accounts of debtors and creditors. So what is the problem behind this? It will be difficult for the firm to prepare the final accounts since it is not having record of real accounts and nominal accounts. Okay, then there is no uniformity in preparation of these accounts because there are no set rules under the single entry system. Firms can decide their own pattern of preparation according to their convenience, according to their requirements. There are no set rules like in double entry system. So these are the disadvantages, or these can be written as the features also. Again, you will not be getting question like write the features, write the advantages. You will not get such questions in accountancy. But again, you should know all these, because when we learn one particular topic, you should learn all these. You should know the concept also, rather than simply moving on to problems. Okay, so you can just read the first two pages like features, advantages, disadvantages. No need to by heart. You just read. But the meaning you should learn. Okay. Then after that, after giving this meaning of single entry system, you write the heading ascertaining profits under single entry system. So what we are going to learn is how to compute profit under single entry system. Okay. So first method for that is statement of affairs method. You write the heading statement of affairs method. Second method is conversion method. It's given on page number 20.3. So we will discuss first method in detail, that is statement of affairs method. Okay. Statement of affairs method, also known as net worth method. Statement of affairs method, or the other name they have given on the next page 20.4, that is net worth method. Okay, and net worth, that term is familiar to you. Net worth is the difference between assets and liabilities. So, statement of affairs is a statement which shows the assets and liabilities of the firm. So, we have already learned financial statement which shows assets and liabilities, that is the balance sheet. Statement of affairs is having exactly the same format as that of a balance sheet. The format is liabilities amount, assets amount. So, it looks like a balance sheet. The preparation is almost same, but the thing is, we are finding the difference between assets and liabilities while we are doing statement of affairs method. That means, what is the difference between assets and liabilities? The difference between assets and liabilities is capital. So, in order to find the amount of capital, you are preparing this statement of affairs. So, the balance sheet is what we are doing actually, but the heading what you have to write is statement of affairs. The format is just like a balance sheet, but it will not tally like a balance sheet. There will be a missing figure or a balancing figure that will be taken as the capital. Okay, so it is also known as net worth method because it shows the assets and liabilities, and the difference between these two will be taken as capital. So, that is the first step, that is to find the capital. Then once you get the capital, the next step is to compute the profit. That is the ultimate purpose. You have to get the profit, and this formula you have learned already in that chapter, accounting equation, that is profit is equal to the expanded formula closing capital add drawings less additional capital less opening capital. Okay, so this is the formula, expanded formula that you have already learned in that accounting equation. Profit is equal to closing capital add drawings less additional capital less opening capital. So, you just have to apply this particular formula to compute profit under the first method. But if closing capital is missing in the question, how will you find the closing capital? You will have to prepare statement of affairs just like a balance sheet, and the balancing figure will be taken as the capital. You prepare the closing statement of affairs, you get the closing capital. You prepare the opening statement of affairs, you get the opening capital if these are missing in the question, or else you can directly apply the formula, get the profit. Okay, if it is missing, you will have to do sometimes opening statement of affairs, sometimes closing statement, sometimes both you will have to do to get the opening and closing capitals. Now, we will work out illustration number 2. Illustration 2, it's given on page number 20.5. Hari, who keeps his books on single entry system, tells you that the closing capital is given 1,87,000. Then 1st April 2018, the opening capital we have directly. He further informs you that during the year he withdrew for his household purpose, that is drawings. We know that the amount withdrawn, or it can be goods also, withdrawn for personal purpose, that's called drawings. He once sold his investments of 20,000 at 2% premium and brought that money into business. That means he invested further into the business, that is the additional capital. We are asked to prepare a statement of profit or loss. We just have to apply the formula, but since they are asking you to do it as a statement, this is not statement of affairs, they are asking you to do statement of profit or loss. That formula we will apply. Profit is equal to closing capital, add drawings, the same thing we will be applying, but only thing is we will write in the format of a table. Statement of profit or loss. This is how you have to write the heading for the year ended. What's the date given there? 31st March 2019. Okay, you need to have only two columns, that is particulars column and amount column. This is not statement of affairs, this is statement of P&L, where we will be applying that expanded formula. So first one is closing capital. This is how we have to write the formula. When they ask you to do statement of P&L, if they simply ask you to compute profit, you don't have to prepare this box and all. You can directly apply the formula. Profit is equal to closing capital, add drawings. You can just write the formula and substitute the figures. If they just ask you to ascertain profit, if they ask you to do in the format of statement of P&L, this is how you have to do. Okay. Okay, so closing capital, here all figures are directly given, you just have to substitute it. Closing capital is 1,87,000. Then add drawings. Add drawings 84,200 less additional capital. Additional capital what they invested further into the business, that is 20,000 they sold their investments at 2% premium. So first you have to compute what is 2% of 20,000. Okay, so that is 400. So you are selling at the rate of 2%. So we got the amount 400, and since it is at a premium, that means it's like a profit we are selling. 20,000 plus 400, you got 2,400 which you invested into the business. So additional capital is 20,400. Okay, did you all understand the calculation? The 2% you have to compute, then add it with 20,000 because it is at premium. Premium means it is at a profit you are selling, and 2,400 we invested. So additional capital is 20,400. Then less opening capital, that's the last item you have to deduct, which is 1,92,000. So we just substituted the formula, only thing is we wrote all these inside this format. Okay. So finally we'll get the net profit, that is 58,800. We did all these to get the profit. So this is the net profit for the year. That is 58,800. Okay. Then next one is illustration number 3 we'll work out. Sanjay started a firm on 1st April, that is the opening capital. Then the dates are very important. Then the next one given there is on 1st July 2018, he borrowed from his wife amount of 4,000 at 9% interest not yet paid. Okay. So that date is very important, 1st July, on which we have taken a loan. I mean the owner has taken a loan from his wife, but don't consider it as a personal transaction. You have to consider it as a business transaction. Understood? The owner is taking a loan from his wife means it's not a personal transaction, it is a business transaction. The business is actually taking a loan from owner's wife. So from business point of view, it is our liability because we are following separate entity concept. Understood? So this is a liability. And there is interest also which we haven't paid. So we have to compute 9% interest on 4,000. Then introduce a further capital, that is additional capital is given. Then 31st March 2019 his position was certain assets and liabilities are given as on 31st March. You are asked to ascertain his profit or loss. That is the question. Okay, so for ascertaining the profit or loss, this is the formula you need to apply. We need closing capital, opening capital, drawings, additional capital, everything we need. So you have to see whether closing capital is given in the question. If you read the question, for closing date, they have given so many assets like cash at bank, stock, debtors, then one creditor, that is liability is also given. Other than that, there is loan from wife and all. So all these liabilities and assets given there, we don't have the value of closing capital. So first what we have to do is find the value of closing capital. For that what you have to do is prepare statement of affairs. And which statement of affairs you will do? It is the closing statement of affairs you have to do to get the value of closing capital. Okay, so you can write the heading like statement of affairs as on the closing date. We will write 31st March 2019. This is statement of affairs which we are doing to get the value of closing capital. Then only we can do that profit and loss. So this is just like a balance sheet. So you draw the format, liabilities, amount, assets, amount. Okay. We already have certain assets and liabilities in the question. We will write those assets and liabilities first. Cash, stock and debtors. It's directly given in the question. That is 600, 9,400 and 7,000. Okay, then liabilities, for that we have creditors 6,000. Then you have taken on 1st July 2018, that means during the year, it's not in the beginning of the year. Okay, during the year you have taken a loan and that should come in the closing balance sheet. So that you have to remember, it is not given along with these items, as a separate paragraph they have written. So that Sanjay's wife's loan or Mrs. Sanjay's loan you can write. The amount is 4,000. Why I wrote 4,000 in the inner column is we have to add something with this 4,000. 4,000 is the loan amount. With that we will add interest on loan. Interest on loan will be, you have to calculate the amount, it will be 4,000 into the percentage is 9 by 100 into something else you have to consider, that is the time period. That's what I told you in the beginning. You have to see the dates very carefully. It's on 1st July you are taking the bank loan. You are taking the loan from his wife. And when you compute the interest, you have to start counting only from July, not from April. You took the loan only on 1st July, isn't it? Yeah. So from 1st July till the end, that means till 31st March, you will have to pay interest. So we will start counting from July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That means for 9 months we have to compute or we have to pay the interest and the amount will be 270. Okay. So 4,270 is the loan amount which you have to write. That means including the interest. Okay. That calculation you have to show like this. So now the assets and liabilities are over. You can just balance the account and the balancing figure here is 6,730. That we can take as the closing capital. You can simply write as capital because this is the closing statement of affairs. So it is understood that what we get is closing capital. Okay. That's the balancing figure. So this will not tally. This is not like balance sheet, though the format looks like balance sheet. Okay, so we prepared the statement of affairs. Next we'll do the P and L. Actually, they haven't asked you to prepare the statement of profit or loss. Like in previous question, they haven't asked, but they have asked to ascertain the profit or loss. So if you want, you can just write the formula and do, but I'll be just drawing the format and do. So when they ask you to just ascertain, the formula is enough. Statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2019. We have two columns, particulars and amount column, and just substitute the formula. Closing capital, the amount here is 6,730, what we found now. Add drawings, see whether we have any drawings in the question. Introduced fresh capital, then drawings, the last sentence. Did you see 2000 for his drawings? So drawings we have. Read each and every word of your question. Less additional capital. What he introduced as additional capital is given in the question, like 1,500. Yes, that is less value. So write within brackets. Then less opening capital. In previous question, yeah, opening capital also within brackets you have to write, that you have to see always. So less opening capital. The opening capital is directly given, so we didn't do opening statement of affairs. Here the opening capital is 10,000. So finally your can be net loss also in certain questions. Yes, here it is a net loss. It is 2,770. 2,770, that is net loss for the year. Okay. Yes. So you have to see whether closing and opening capital is missing in the question. See, suppose if you don't have drawings, if you don't have additional capital, take it as 0. No need to compute. If it is given, you take and substitute. But if drawings and additional capital, if it is missing in the question, take it as 0. But if your opening capital and closing capitals are missing, you have to compute it. You have to, because for every firm there will be an opening capital, there will be a closing capital. Understood? It need not have drawings and additional capital always. So opening capitals and closing capitals are compulsory, which you have to find always. If it is missing, you prepare opening statement of affairs or closing statement of affairs according to the question. Okay, so this is how you have to do the statement of P and L, and for certain questions you will have to do statement of affairs also. Not certain questions, most of the questions you will have to do statement of affairs also. Okay.